Hello, my name is Matt, and I'm going to discuss the video game Uncharted 4: A Thief's End. This game is one of Naughty Dog's most popular action-adventure games, but also one of their best games, and there is no denying that fact. With an immersive storyline that hooks you in immediately, Uncharted 4 will be making you want to play for hours at a time. Uncharted 4 was published by Sony Interactive Entertainment for the PlayStation 4. This is because they bought the licensing for the game to only be published on their console, meaning Xbox users could not play the game. The game was released worldwide on May 10th, 2016, as the sequel to 2011's Uncharted 3: Drake's Deception. It is the conclusion to the Uncharted series, starring Nathan Drake, and the last game in the franchise to be developed by Naughty Dog. Set several years after the events of Uncharted 3: Drake's Deception, A Thief's End follows series protagonist Nathan Drake, who has retired from fortune hunting. He reunites with his older brother Sam and longtime partner Sully to search for clues for the location of Captain Henry Avery's long-lost treasure to save his brother's life. In the first week of Uncharted being released to stores, it sold over 2 million copies. If we look globally, in the first week it sold 2,202,950 copies, and by the end it sold 4,573,536 copies. If we look more in detail at those, in the USA, in the first week, it sold 715,173,000 copies, and today it's sold 1,392,766 copies. So, of the 4 million copies that have been sold by today, the USA makes up approximately a quarter of that. If we look at Europe, in the first week, sold 957,344 copies, and today they have sold 2,161,989. That is just over half of the copies that have sold, all thanks to Europe. As you can see, game sales take up 904 million of the £4.12 billion. This is practically a quarter of the whole games industry. Part of those sales are being helped by Uncharted 4, and the game industry is evolving every single day. Games like Uncharted 4 are what push the boundaries and reach new peaks. They help the industry thrive and make people want more and more. Ratings online show that Naughty Dog's Uncharted 4 has received amazing reviews, which skyrocket past any games that we've seen today. There are not many games that have equal or even better reviews than Uncharted 4. Metacritic have rated the game 93 out of 100, which puts it as the highest scoring game of 2016. Giant Bomb, The Escapist and a few others have rated the game an astonishing 5 out of 5. This is absolutely mind-blowing. One of the few games that could potentially top this game is Naughty Dog's The Last of Us. The target audience for Uncharted 4 would be a hardcore gamer who enjoys adventure and exploration games. The gamer preferably needs to have skills on the genre of the game to allow them to move up the game and be able to complete the missions. The demographic for this game would be teenagers, as they would understand the concepts of the game and find its aspects more enjoyable, but also anybody who enjoys the genre of game would really enjoy playing this game, as it is extremely indulging. Looking at what some people have to say about Uncharted 4: A Thief's End, we can see that Stephen Hansen of Destructoid scored the game a 9.5 out of 10. He said, "The game has stunning art direction, satisfying game feel, a willingness to shake up third-person action conventions to know when to introduce variety." Another person, Mike Mahadi from GameSpot, scored the game a perfect 10 out of 10, saying, "Uncharted 4 is a challenge to the medium. In its writing, in its design, in its understanding of what makes game unique, Uncharted 4 is something to aspire to." Daniel Riker of Giant Bomb scored the game a 5 out of 5, writing, "This is one of the most fully realised action campaigns of all time, and it sets a new bar of quality for what's possibly in the genre." Lucy O'Brien of IGN scored the game a 9 out of 10, praising the story, visuals, gameplay and multiplayer. However, she criticised the elongated pacing of the third act of the story. She closed her review by stating, "Uncharted 4: A Thief's End is a remarkable achievement in blockbuster storytelling and graphical beauty." Some accolades that Uncharted 4 has received, for example, in 2016 it was nominated for Game of the Year, Best Storytelling, Best Visual Design, Best Audio, Best Performance, Best PlayStation Game of the Year, Personally, I think this game is one of the best of all time. Not many games I have had the pleasure of playing have come close to Uncharted 4. As previously mentioned, The Last of Us is up there, another one of Naughty Dog's best games. Also, another series from Rockstar, Red Dead Redemption. These games are praised for the amazing graphics, cutscenes, cinematics, and they all provide the player with amazing experiences. Uncharted 4 has one of the best storylines for a game that I've ever seen, and I highly recommend that people play the game. They will not regret it in the slightest. This was stated as the last Uncharted game, which would make a great but sad ending to a phenomenal series. I just hope that Uncharted make more games that could quite possibly top Uncharted. The following clips are interviews from people who have played Uncharted 4, A Thief's End, and what they think of it. How many hours a week do you spend playing video games?
I spend about roughly 50 hours.
Okay. What genre of games are you into?
Horror and survival games.
Okay. What did you think of Uncharted 4?
I thought it was a great game and the graphics were well done.
Okay. How long did it take you to complete the game?
Around about 14 hours.
Okay. What is the aim of the game?
To find the treasure and save Sam.
Okay. Do you prefer a game driven by mechanics or narration?
Narration.
Okay. How many games do you buy, like, a year on average?
Say probably like 10.
Okay. Do you prefer playing games alone or with your friends?
Alone.
Okay. And do you have any subscriptions to, like, PlayStation Network or any other games?
Yeah, it's PlayStation Network.
Okay. How much would you spend on a game, like the maximum?
£90.
Okay. And if you had to describe Uncharted in one word, what would it be?
Amazing.
Thank you very much. How many hours a week do you spend playing games?
I'd say 48.
48, okay.
Give or take.
What genre of game are you into? Or games?
Action adventure, survival horror, platforming, stuff like that.
What did you think of Uncharted 4?
It was a pretty solid game. I've not really played much of the Uncharted series, so you know, I was a bit blind going into it. But yeah, the graphics were really good. The story was really solid. There weren't any plot holes in it. The mechanics were really good, and yeah, all around it was a good game.
Okay. How long did it take you to complete the game?
Around 13 hours, give or take.
Okay. What is the aim of the game?
You need to rescue Sam and find the treasure.
Okay. Do you prefer a game driven by mechanics or narration or both?
I'd say it's good to have a balance of both. Like games like Metal Gear will usually they'll have like lengthy cutscenes, but they'll also have good solid game mechanics mixed in there. But most of the time it's story.
Yeah.
You get more invested into it. You know, if it sells the characters to you rather than just look at it at a mechanics sort of standpoint.
Okay. How many games would you say you buy a year?
3 to 4, not usually more than that.
Do you prefer playing games alone or with your friends?
Depends on the type of game, really. If it's something like FIFA, it's usually better to get together with a few mates and have a couple of games of it. But if it's a game like Legend of Zelda or Uncharted, then it's better to just play by yourself.
Yeah. Do you have any subscriptions to games or a game console, for example?
Just PSN, really. Nothing other than that.
Okay. How much would you spend maximum on a game?
40 quid, no, not more than that.
Okay. And if you had to describe Uncharted in one word, what would it be?
Great.
Thank you very much. How many hours a week do you spend playing games?
On average, around 20 hours.
Okay. What genre of game are you into, or genres of games?
Predominantly survival horror.
Okay. What did you think of Uncharted 4?
Uncharted 4 was a fun action game. It was very on rails, but I did enjoy it overall.
Yeah. How long did it take you to complete?
About, I think it was a while ago, so it was about anywhere between 8 to 10 hours.
Okay. What is the aim of the game?
The aim of the game is to you finding a lost island that contains treasure. You're supposed to obtain the treasure and save your brother from a debt with the criminals.
Okay. Do you prefer a game driven by mechanics or narration or both?
Sorry, what was that again? Sorry.
Do you prefer a game driven by mechanics or narration, so like cutscenes?
Oh, right.
and stuff like that?
I don't know, it varies for me, but overall I would say probably game mechanics,
Okay.
although I do like narrative.
Yeah. How many games do you buy a year?
Per year, I'd probably around, I don't know, 20, maybe 30.
Yeah. Do you prefer playing games alone or with your friends?
I do play with my friends, but mostly on my own, so I do prefer playing on my own.
Okay. Do you have any subscriptions to games or game consoles?
I have a subscription to PlayStation Plus, but other than that, no.
Okay. How much would you spend on a game?
50 quid is the maximum I'd spend on it. I don't bother getting special editions or anything.
Okay. And if you had to describe Uncharted in one word, what would it be?
Awesome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And so, as you saw, a lot of the people that we asked, both in the interviews and online, said the same thing about Uncharted. It's such a good game that a lot of people should play. For example, James, the second person who was interviewed, said that he hadn't played much of the Uncharted series, which personally I think everyone needs to play Uncharted. Not just Uncharted 4, but Uncharted 1, 2 and 3 as well. Because not only does it help follow in the storyline, but they are just incredible games that need to be played, really. And also, it was touched upon in the interviews and as well online that people said that the graphics, for example, that the graphics are really good, which from my personal experience playing the game is just it's so true. Like, you see where it pans across like the mission or the area, the level that you're going to be playing, and it's breathtaking, really. It's really like incredible and unbelievable, really, how far the games industry has come as a whole. Because, like, if we think back to let me think, the PlayStation 2, for example, or the PlayStation 1, 10, 15 years ago, or however long it was, you wouldn't think that that's where we'd be today. And the graphics are just phenomenal. And we look at the storyline, how each time they progress and become more in depth and just become they become more relatable, like, I think is the right way to put it. All these features are just what really makes the game what it is, and I think is something we need to appreciate more than we probably do. Because it's okay just looking at the graphics and saying, oh yeah, each year the graphics get better and better, but the amount of effort that goes into the storyline, making the game what it is, it's like, it needs to be credited much more than it probably does. For example, like, as I've just said, the graphics are what I look to more because it's the more obvious. But as you're playing, it must be hard to actually think of the storyline and where that's going to go. So I think that needs to be credited more than it does personally. And also, it's another one that people don't think about. But the sound in the games is just, it's impeccable. Little things like walking through the snow, that you wouldn't think of it, like that wouldn't be something that crosses your mind. But subconsciously, as you're playing the game, if you didn't hear the crunching as you're walking through the snow, it's not as aesthetically pleasing, I think is what I'm trying to say. It's like your brain just registers what's happening, and so it just makes your overall experience of playing the game so much better, which is like what makes games so much better and sets the bad games from the mid-tier games to the top higher end games.